Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth. It is May 28th, 2023, and today my guest is Willow Tumblety, and we talk about worldwide events. Enjoy the show.
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hello, welcome to Navigating the Truth, and Sunday, the 28th of May, and June is right around the corner, and we have been enjoying really nice weather here in Scotland. And now we're in that point of the year where the sun actually it doesn't get dark until well after 10. And the birds are chirping at 4 in the morning. So we have more daylight, and it actually feels really good. Like just having all this daylight, and also the sunshine has been helping as well. And I welcome the listeners, and I thank you for listening in. And I'm hoping you're enjoying your morning there in Vegas or wherever you are. And I have a wonderful guest, and she is a repeat guest. She's becoming a regular. I have my daughter, Willow Tumblety. And hello, Willow.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm doing well.
You doing well? So your computer recovered?
Yeah, just in the nick of time.
I know it was literally 5 minutes before we went live. You said my computer has a problem.
Yes, yeah.
What was going on with it?
I'm not sure. I turned it on, and then it said that it needed to repair itself to an earlier date, and I was like, oh no. And so it was just like the circle was turning for the longest time, but it pulled through.
It pulled through, it chugged through.
Yeah.
So you went on a hike on Friday after your work.
Yeah, it was our first staff walk this year, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah? Tell us about it. What did you do?
I know
you hiked.
It was about a 3-hour, no, maybe like 2.5-hour hike. And it went up behind Brodick, which is like the ferry port town, where you see, and from the top you can see Holy Isle, which is where the Buddhist retreat is. But yeah, it was great. And then we walked right back down, and then got a chippy at the end. So it was a good night.
So was that a bag of chips, salt and vinegar?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some people got fish and chips. Some people got sausage and chips.
People are complaining about the price of these things now.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah. Like a fish supper, which actually means, for people who don't know what a fish supper, it's like fish and chips. And I think they're charging like 15 quid.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like $20. Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. And it used to be so cheap here.
I mean, we're an island. We fish all the time, like it doesn't have far to go. So, I mean, yeah, it's like squeezies are on everywhere. And it, like, I keep coming back to this, like how all the supermarkets like gouged us like big time with the price increases, and yet wholesale never budged.
I know.
What and then they're all like, oh, profit, we made such a profit this year, billions and billions, and our CEOs all got their big what is it, they get their bonuses. Meanwhile, and there are people who are seriously hurting, and I mean, families here, like I see like the moms and the dads, and maybe they have 2 kids, but they are working non-stop. And it's what would you say about this?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Like there's over on Erin, there's it's all the Co-op, which is the supermarket over there. But you have two locations, and the one that's a little bit more tucked away is way more expensive than the one in town. And it's just like, it's always just, it's like
Gouging.
bullying people. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and like the Co-op is actually a supermarket here, much like maybe not as big as maybe like the what was it, Stop and Shop? Yeah, Stop and Shop was the one that we used to do in Rhinebeck. Or the Great American, was that it? That was another one.
Oh, the Grand Union, and then it was
Grand Union.
Fry's out in Arizona. I think.
That's right. Yeah. So the Co-op is basically something like that here. It's just and you know what it reminds me? I remember when we lived in Rhinebeck, there was only one cable company that did internet, so they gouged everybody. And I kept, well, me being the complainer that I am, kept questioning it. I was like going to like the Chamber of Commerce and stuff and try to figure out what was going on. And basically what it was they had a deal for a certain number of years before any kind of competition could move in, because the minute the competition moved in, the prices started going down because they were competing with each other. That's exactly what's happening over in Arn. The supermarkets, it's only one brand, a supermarket.
Yeah, so they make the rules.
Yeah, they make the rules. There's no other choice. And also, here's the other thing. They're shipping it on.
I know.
You know, I mean, is there anything in these supermarkets that's actually being produced on the island?
No, I don't think so.
No, because I know that they have cattle there. I know they have sheep there. I know that they... I don't know if the farms are producing anything more than maybe staples and also grains for their for the livestock. I know that there's quite a few people have like free range chickens and that kind of thing. So it makes me wonder the way that it's set up. And I know that there's a few businesses there that's kind of gouging the whole thing. And they're basically exporting everything out of there. And it's not really getting fed back into the community. I mean, the shareholders of the companies, you know how it all works. You know, like they go to satisfy them. I don't know. Something is really, really wrong with this picture. You know?
Yeah. It doesn't seem sustainable.
It's not. It's not. Like there was a time when we, like this country at least, we produced about 75% our food, our vegetables, everything that we needed. It was at least 7, and that was something that they tried to keep at it. No. I told you about my, I kind of still complaining about this, my Whole Foods order where my dried apples came from China.
I know.
I haven't bought a thing for Whole Foods since, and I let them know, and not too many. I actually was really polite about it. I asked them, why is it coming for there? Do we not have apple trees here anymore?
Yeah.
We used to have them everywhere. There was apples everywhere. Because that was the feed for the livestock. And also that apple cider, that was a big one in New York. I remember collecting the apples and then taking them. There was an apple press in Hawkett Center, I think it was. And we would take and your dad was really good at it, picking the good apples. He had a knife for them. But that was a big deal. So it was applesauce, dried apples, apples were I could eat apples all day long, so I could. But now I'm suspicious of just about everything because I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Yeah,
I don't know the processes it's been through, and I mean, sure you can the alfalfa sprouts and stuff. I mean, you can sustain yourself with sprouts and things, but that's only gonna last for so long, and then the water. I have to pay attention to the water. Where's the water coming from? Is the water clean? What's it got in it? What chemicals have been in it? Like, that's the other thing. Like, I've always paid attention to water boards and whatever they're up to. And that was a cracker. Like, basically, all the water rights are pretty much being bought.
Yeah, and it's only like 2 or 3 companies, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's Nestle's one of them.
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, like, if you look at water, if you look at food, if you look at energy, we are talking only a few companies here with shareholders. And that's the other thing. Like, when you really start looking, like, at the shareholders, they're all related. They're all related to each other. They're all like, yeah, it's like one big happy family. In the meantime, they're all slapping each other on the back, and people are running around try to find healthy food, try to drink clean water, and breathe decent air. Like, these are just like the basics, right?
Yeah.
Or you would think. But whoever controls them is controlling the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. And all these companies, well, there's no many of them. I think somebody says there's 5, 6. Like, at one point, I used to have a map of them all, and all the different like shareholders and all the different CEOs. I used to have. It's probably somewhere on an old hard drive, but yeah, it's. And then the pharmaceutical companies, they can't forget them.
Yeah, can't leave them out.
Can't leave them out with their poisons. And I used to like be so like thrilled about the discoveries that they had like in the Amazon when they would come across these plants, because, like, let's face it, the people who lived there, the tribes who lived there, they already knew all this. So when you had these anthropologists going into these countries and kind of sitting down, and I would think that they would learn the language and they would learn the secrets, like if they were willing to part with them. A lot of the elders were smart enough not to. And then what you got was these plants that produced like painkillers, or like, well, what was it? The willow tree, the bark of a willow tree was really good for headaches and all this. And then they synthesize them. Yeah, they fake them, like the chemistry is imitated and produced in a pill form, whereas the natural source is the source. That's I mean, I remember when I used to do you remember I had my wee garden in Rhinebeck. It was the allotment I had, and there was one of the old-timers was telling me to put the seeds in my mouth, like for the saliva, and then spit them into the ground. And at first I was like, ooh, they're spitting the seeds in there, I'm like, ugh. Yeah. And then he explained it to me. He was like, no, he says, I'm telling you, he said that your DNA in your saliva and in these seeds, he says that plant will produce for you exactly what you need.
I like that.
Yeah, the old timers knew it, like they really did. They still do, like they should be cherished. And he was right. Do you remember I had my Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I had a big stock. Like, I really enjoyed that. And that was one of the first things that I did when I came here. Like, I love, like, farmers markets, allotments. Like, I just love all that. Like, I believe that we should have, like, berry bushes everywhere, Anywhere there's a piece of land, you should be planting berry bushes. If you have trees, make them fruit trees, something that's producing. I also like the decorative trees, right enough. I do like a red maple, I like the big oaks. But there's another thing, like the acorns for an oak tree. You can make flour with that.
Yeah.
That makes a great flour.
Yeah.
The pine cones are high in vitamin C. Like even suck it, well, you don't suck on pine cones, but you can break them off.
I think there's like pine cone jelly out there.
Yeah.
Like pine cone jam.
Really?
Yeah.
I must not be getting out much. Pinecone jelly pie. You know, and remember I used to make my own colloidal silver?
Mhm.
Remember, like, I mean, I was doing that, what, 25 years ago? I had my wee copper silver and I had my battery and I was
Yeah. Yeah.
making my own water. You know, they sell that now for about 99 quid a bottle.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Like, that was my go-to for everything. Like, that went on everything for the longest time. I
Mhm.
think what happened was when I moved back here, I lost a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, it was basically packing up 10 boxes
Yeah.
and then they fell off the truck onto the street.
Yeah. Oh God, I know.
Yeah. I think somebody didn't like me.
Mm.
You know, I remember just watching it. It was like slow motion.
Yeah.
Is that all the boxes? They were all kind of cellophane wrapped all together to hold them together. After coming from all the way from Arizona,
Mhm.
and it was at your grand's house, and the big truck pulled up, and they texted me, and he had the forklift, and he picks up like the package. He turns around, and it just all spilled onto the street.
God.
You know, I didn't cry. I looked at it and I was kind of numb, I think, like
Yeah.
at that point because that was when John had committed suicide. Like it was no long after that,
Mhm.
so it was. But I remember just standing there and my computer was in it, everything was in it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Just all
and
gone.
all gone. All gone in an instant. Never got the insurance. Never got nothing. Fought with them every way.
Yeah.
Never got a dime.
Ugh.
Yep. Yeah, such is life.
Yeah.
But we've been having great weather here, so let's not go
Yeah.
on a Debbie Downer here.
Yeah. And we've kept some stuff, but we've got new stuff.
Well, it's just stuff though. You know, like
Yeah.
I've always kind of been like that. Like actually my first apartment, I think I told you about this. I had been invited to go to London and my apartment was in Glasgow. I literally locked the door and put the keys through
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
walked away. Yep. So walking away from stuff has always been easy for me. I'm
Mhm.
no attached to stuff.
Just clothes.
People, people, clothes, just clothes and shoes. No, back in the day, yeah. But I still have these attachments to people. You know, I still seem to have, and I don't think that's bad. I'm not saying that in a bad way, but I do. I get attached to people, and it's hard when I lose them.
Mhm.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. But you have some good things coming up soon. You have a trip to London.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to see
Yeah.
Tenacious D, so that's very exciting. Um,
Yeah.
and then I think we're trying to plan a little vacation, maybe to a beach somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's Portugal or there's Spain we were thinking of as well.
There's also the beach here.
Yeah, but
It's
I,
just
g-
not
I
the
see that
weather.
every day.
You do see it every day. And it is a nice beach. You
Yeah,
know,
but it's
it's a
not it's
no,
not the beach where like you can lay out in the sun and go in the water. Usually you
no.
you freeze.
You freeze or you become like a lobster
Hmm.
really quick. I know I like in the past I did. As a kid, you know, your gran used to always say that. No, no, Caroline, you always took a tan. You always had a nice golden color. You were always tanned. And then I think it was after maybe adolescence. But I had also like came across people that talked about how much sugar was in your diet
Hmm.
caused you to burn.
Huh.
Yeah, they had and they broke it down for me and I remember like I don't buy sugar anymore. I haven't in a long, long time. But I do like my honey. I
Yeah.
like my honey. I do like my honey. Always liked my honey. I like honey and coffee.
Hmm.
That's my thing. But I know that I should be drinking black coffee, but
Yeah, it's so
no,
nasty.
no. You know what I really miss? The hazelnut. We don't
Oh, yeah,
get
the
that
coffee
here.
creamer. Yeah,
We don't get that here.
I know.
I really, really miss that. Sometimes I could cry. I miss it so much.
I know. There's a few things that I miss, and it's usually they're not great things. It's like potato chips and ice cream and coffee creamer. Like not really good like vegetables.
No, you know what? The best place I ever tasted artichokes was in France, long, long ago, and they were all over my salad, and I loved it. And I had bouillabaisse for the first time. I didn't even know what bouillabaisse was, and we were in a restaurant that was a cave.
Oh, that's cool.
It was really cool, and it was in the south of France. It was where was it? I think they called it Grasse. It was where all the flowers for the perfumes, for the French perfumes. It was there. And do you know what bouillabaisse is?
I don't think so.
It's a chicken.
It's
a chicken dish, but it's in like a broth. And we had all kinds of wine. Yeah, I think I was maybe 21, 22.
Wow.
And I was in France, and I was thinking I was ever so fashionable.
Probably were.
I probably was, yeah. But nobody understood me the minute I opened my mouth because I had a thick Glaswegian accent. That was really interesting, like growing up. Like, it was fine, like in my neighbourhoods. But see, the minute that we went into like Edinburgh or something, oh my goodness.
It's very different.
Yeah, and they were snobby about it. It was like we were working class compared to, I guess they saw themselves as maybe because, who the heck knows? Like,
I don't know, high society folk.
Yeah, but they weren't.
They
weren't. They were just. They just had a different dialect. Was what it was. Yeah. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Like the whole dynamics between peoples. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
like.
Sure.
And the amount of division and how easily it is to divide us. I think. We have the same enemy, peeps.
Yep.
Let's pull it together here. Like really and truly, like, is this stuff really that important?
Yeah. Well, it's all on purpose, isn't it? Like the longer that we're fighting each other, like then we won't focus on who's really pulling the strings.
Yeah, I know. And we are coming up on our first break. And I'd like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in, and we will be right back after this break.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here. Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, Prepare an enlightened one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 Million Miles Till Midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4!
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you. You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome back to Navigating the Truth, and I'd like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in. And today I have Willow Tumblety with me, and we are just having a chat. Do you have your tea there, Willow?
No, actually I don't. I'll have to grab it at the next break.
Yeah, I got mine.
Nice.
Yeah, I got mine. Yeah, like we were talking through the break about like how even the sizes of clothing have changed. Like it's the whole, it's like this whole what would you call it? Psychological operation that has been going on forever.
It's crazy. Like I think it's called vanity sizing, where they
sizing.
Yeah, well they'll print that it's a smaller size than what it actually is, and so that you believe that you're that smaller size when in reality you're not. But it's also like there's like a lot of clothes now come from China, obviously, or like other places. And then if you order from those places, the sizes are so tiny. And you're like, how can this possibly fit a human being?
I know. Well, remember that day we were doing a wee bit of shopping. I think this was actually, it was still during lockdown, but we kind of got like a break. and went for some clothes shopping. I cracked up the woman in front of me because we were holding up these things, and I was like, "Yeah, it all comes from China. They don't have any tits." So I was like, because she was complaining, or was it you? It was saying they don't sit right
Yeah,
around
they don't
the
sit
boobs.
right. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because the flat just.
None of it's made for a real shape. I don't understand it. It's made for just like to be on a hanger.
Yeah. But it's also going to make you feel really self-conscious.
Yeah.
When you're like, trying something on.
Yeah.
And
you're like, well, what shape am I for this not to fit?
Right? I mean, that's where your mind goes. I know that's where mine goes.
Mm-hmm.
Is like, because after, I would say maybe, I don't know, maybe 48, when I had about 48, like if I gained any weight, it used to be in the past, if I gained weight, it went to my boobs or my butt.
Mm-hmm.
But right around 48, my metabolism changed as my body was changing. And it all settled on my belly.
Yep.
So like the things that would fit me around the waist no longer were fitting, so I had to go up on sizes, and then they were hanging around my butt.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, and then once I figured out that my metabolism had shifted, and I was able to kind of, like, I think I gained, like, on average, like from 48 to 50, I was gaining an average of about 5 pounds a year.
Mm.
And then I remember going, okay, enough of that. And when my focus went to it, I knew what was happening. I knew what I couldn't eat anymore. You know, I knew, or I couldn't eat as much as I had been eating before. And I had to kind of break it down. Like right now, I'm going through a weight loss. I think in the past 6 weeks, I've lost about 10 pounds. You still, yeah. No, I easily, my weight can gain. Like,
yeah.
And that, I would say, happened probably around the age of 48. 48, yeah, I would say that was when it started happening. Before that, I had a super fast metabolism.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my body changed, you know? My body also went through changes.
Yeah, mine changes like week to week, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll digest
wild?
food really, really fast, and then other times it's not.
Well, they say that, I don't know, you probably know about this, like how to trick it, like to trick the metabolism, like we like carbs one day and not the next day, like, because there's something about the digestive system and how it breaks down the sugars.
Yes,
it speeds up. Yeah,
I'm not sure how that one would work, because like I know how keto works is your body slowly adjusts to using fat instead of using carbs as your energy source, but the default is carbs. So like to go from one day to the next, I feel like I'm not sure how that would.
I don't know either.
Work,
I would need to look more into it, but like I think the whole idea that food isn't really what it should be anymore is maybe how to shift the focus, because basically our food is for energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it is also for the functioning of our body, like our brain, like our heart, everything. So if we look at it from that perspective, we can't just rely on supplements, because even the supplements, like, are unless you have like a really trustworthy source that you have been using for some time, like even that comes into question. And then you have like the herbs. Sure, you can go out and you can collect like your dandelions, your burdock, your bark, like for the trees. You can do all that, but even that is produced with soil, especially here. Like when I go to some of the wildlands around here, that soil is being contaminated at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it'll take a while, you know. But the thing about weeds, and they pop up everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, like if you've got a crack in the sidewalk, pretty soon you're going to have a whole bunch of dandelions growing there, or bluebells, or like, especially here. I love it. I love seeing a tree on a roof.
Oh, I know. Growing in the gutter.
Growing in the gutter, yeah. Like, it's, the nature, if you might call it nature, it will take back an abandoned area pretty quick. It'll just, it'll grow wild. And like, I'm just thinking about like some of the ways that we can still get nutrition into our bodies, like when the choices are starting to become limited. If you're steering away from processed food, you're steering away from meat for the most part, like, I think that's why, I would like to move out of yarn. So I've thought that a few times, and I've mentioned it to you as well. Yeah. There's the powers that be are there when they like me to move out of there, but they're not going to be the powers for be for very much longer, I don't think. So I think that then you know who your neighbours are. I mean, it's 22 miles one way.
It's tiny.
It's not a really big island. It's 22 miles and 15 miles across, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. And I believe originally, in ancient times, it was a burial. That was where we laid to rest our ancients, our queens or kings, or whoever you wanted to call them, but I'm talking long, long time ago. And that was where we laid them to rest. That was their final resting. Like, I think Robert the Bruce is probably out there. William Wallace, part of him at least. And others, that haven't been mentioned in our history books. So when you think of it in that terms, that was the final resting place, our ancients. And I would think that the people who lived there would have been petitioned with the protection of that land, as a final resting place, I mean, and is it imports into the island that has happened, or is this people, because, I don't think it's a bad idea to come up with a business that is really providing a service, whether it be entertainment, whether it be food, whatever it is, or whiskey, like they like their whiskey in this country. Yep. So, I mean, I think that is absolutely wonderful. But when it's a small island, how many whiskey distilleries do you need on that island?
Yeah, really.
How many hotels do you need on that island? How many, the Highland cows? I don't know. Do they have Highland cows out there?
Yeah, I think so.
Like Angus, produced for the Angus beef. Like, how many of them do you actually need? So, and if you're not storing it on the actual isle and actually it feeding the community on some level, but it's being exported off of the isle, and the proceeds gone to the shareholders, the CEOs. It's not gone back to the isle. So there's something about the business model that is, and it's capitalism, right? It's basically, it's like a corporate capitalism. What was it you had? Like, I remember an example. It was like a business class that I took, and it was two pizza parlors next door to each other, and somebody buys both, knocks the wall down in the middle. So they have a pizza parlor that's twice the size, but they only keep one staff to run the whole thing. You know what I mean? It's that kind of, and I get it, but I don't think it's a sustainable model.
No, because like the more out of reach these things become, where like the prices go up but the wages stay the same, who's left to buy this stuff? So, like, I don't understand
The
the end goal.
shareholders.
Yeah, but they're not going to spend their own money. That's not what they do.
No, they don't. They don't even do their own shopping. I mean,
Yeah, so it's like I just see it as very, very. Everything is so short-sighted. Like this can't last forever.
no, and I don't. And it's almost like when you, if you take into account how the soil has been contaminated and poisoned over the years, it's almost like when they were doing it, they didn't care.
Well, that's the thing. Like none of these vegetables and fruits were bred for their nutritional value. It was bred for their taste or their color. So it's like you have all these fruits and vegetables that are just they're completely empty. Like I heard that in zoos they're having a hard time feeding the animals because there's just no nutritional value in the food that they used to eat.
Oh my!
Like yeah, so it's like it's really bad.
And the thing about people are that they don't really react or notice until it's actually happening to them.
Exactly.
Until it's actually affecting them on some level. And unfortunately, that does seem to be the way that a lot of people are,
Yeah, I mean, we live in an age where we can see anyone anywhere on any point of the world, and yet we're still not at the point where we can understand them or like we can understand what they're going through. It's just like we have all this access to everything, and we're just not using it the right way.
Right. Well said. Yeah, really. Thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth. And my guest is Willow Tumblety. If you would like to hear the rest of the show, please go to kcrradio.com and you can listen to the archive for free. Thank you.